All right, all right, all right. That ain't even my saying. That's the checkmate saying. All right, y'all. This is what I got for y'all today, man. I'm changing out my batteries today. Alongside changing out the batteries, I like to get these. I forgot the correct term for them. Overmolded something. So I'm changing out these as well. When I first got the truck, this truck had 3 batteries in it. So I put brand new batteries in there. I went to 4 batteries, and then I ordered these off of Amazon. So like they're gonna come with like these little nuts and stuff. Like this one comes. This fun thing. This one only comes with 2. That one comes with 2. And then even on these battery terminals right here, they got nuts on them. But I'm not gonna use these nuts. So got a washer on there. Yep, nuts and washer. So I'll keep the washer on there. All right. So like I was saying, these batteries all came with nuts on them. But I'm not gonna use them. I'll probably keep the washers on there though. But as far as the nuts, I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. I originally wanted to keep the plastic on here, but I'm not going to. Man, I don't want to risk burning the damn truck down and stuff. So inside of my battery box, or on the side of my battery box, I got holes and stuff. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just a little cheap right now and throw some duct tape over it. So these 2 holes here, that hole right there. That one back there, and it might be another one somewhere. And I'm gonna just go ahead and try to cover that up. I probably need to put some type of caulking or something in there, but for right now, I'm just gonna put duct tape over it, and then we'll go ahead and set the batteries in. These are the old cables right here, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of those. And then, like I said, I'm not going back on with the old nuts, or even those nuts. I ordered these right here off of Amazon as well, and so I really like these. Makes it easier to change. They won't get scripted out and all that. And they're not that expensive. So this is a 10-pack right here. You really only need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? The ones with the covers on it. And then if you want to add stuff to the battery, then you'll use these prongs right here. And so I think last time I ordered more than enough. So I'll use the 8 and I'll have 2, and then like the open prongs that I don't use, I'll just go ahead and just put them on there just to cover them up. So we'll be doing batteries today, and then I'll also be changing out my shocks as well. So I got 4 brand new shocks. They are the Gabriels Gabriels from Freightliner, and we're gonna go ahead and change them out as well. So as far as the bolts on the truck, they are a 1 1/16 bolt. Y'all can see that. Slide right on. Nice and however you need it to get on there. So I've already sprayed it down with some penetrating oil already. I'm gonna let that sit. My shocks actually are probably about 2 years old. They're not all rusted to crap and stuff, so I'm hoping I shouldn't have an issue taking them off. So I got to see if I have another one of these 1 1/16 so I can use it for leverage, because if I'm not mistaken, that bolt back there will free spin, and we don't want to have that. So as far as the shocks were $50 a piece at my Freightliner. So people say, oh, you got an old truck, you ain't gonna be able to get parts. $50 a piece for shocks. When I replaced the steer shocks were like 58 or almost $60 a piece. So steer shocks have already been replaced, and I'm replacing the rear shocks because for one, they're leaking, and for 2, I noticed when I have a load on me, and the mud flaps be on the ground even when the airbags are aired all the way up. So to me, I'm like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and change them out. And if you want to know what a leaking shock looks like, it looks like this right here with the residue coming down. That's a leaking shock right there. So like I said, we just gonna go ahead and knock out these 4 shocks on this beautiful Saturday, and then we're just gonna keep it moving. So the reason I'm changing my batteries is about a week ago I had noticed my battery volts, my volts gauge was like going down a little bit. So like once I did the conversion with the alternator, my volts they were always at 14. And another thing, so I was checking my batteries, and if y'all can see that splat up there, that's acid. So one of the batteries had some type of incident, and they threw it up there inside the box. So I didn't once already, actually twice, I had an issue. The truck wouldn't start. My jump pack, it wouldn't even do anything either. So yeah, that battery was bad. And even when you cranked the truck up and it was rolling, I mean, it wasn't reading a full 14. So we know it ain't the alternator, because it's a new alternator on here, so it has to be the battery, or at least one of the batteries. So the good thing is I went to Freightliner and I told them, hey, you know, I got some batteries. Can you pull up my account to see if y'all can tell me, you know, when the warranty is over, because the batteries wasn't even a year old. So he pulls them up. Hey, you got a month left. Bring the batteries in. We'll check them, and if there's an issue with them, we'll go ahead and replace it out free of charge. If there's no issues, then you know it's not the batteries. I go up in there right before they close today. Hey, here's my reference number. You know, batteries. I know one of them spewing acid. Hey, don't worry about it. I got 4 batteries coming to you. You got another 1-year warranty on them. So yeah. So now we're gonna try to do a little better with taking care of these particular batteries. Not saying I wasn't taking care of my other ones, but I'm just gonna take care of these a little bit better. So what we're gonna do now is, like I said, clean out the box a little bit. I got some brake cleaner in there. I'm gonna just clean up the box a little bit, at least get that acid off the top. Put new batteries. Like I said, we're putting these new, I forgot what these called, over molded somethings. Yeah, you can find them on Amazon. They're like 50 to 60 bucks a piece. So, you know, obviously positive, negative. You can get them in just a 2, you can get them in 3, or you can get them in a full 4. I think Freightliner has them in a full 3, but obviously 4 batteries, I need the 4. So new batteries, and we're going on with new nuts as well. So everything's gonna be brand new. Like I said, the box will be still ventilated because of where the hoses come through. So you got a line that come through the back right here, and a line come through there, so that'll help some ventilation. Also, when this lid is closed right here, this top lid, there's still a little space, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be some type of gasket that runs along here, and it's not there. Just like how down here they have this little plastic gasket like thing right here to help it. So that's what it's supposed to be. It's not. It is what it is. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna go ahead and slap these batteries in, spray some more penetrating oil on the shocks back there, and then yeah, we're finna go on and get to work. I shouldn't have to record how to put batteries on the truck. I mean, it's pretty simple. My positives are gonna be on the outside, my negatives are gonna be on the inside. So I already got my batteries stationed that way, so this is exactly how my batteries are gonna go in. But my positives are on this side, my negatives are back there. Like I said, these batteries are from Freightliner. They come with a 1-year warranty. Information on them: 950 cold cranking amps. You got 180 amps reserves. That's pretty much it. Like I said, 1-year warranty. All right, this is where I'm at. So when I tell you these things is stupid, like the easiest way, in my opinion, to change these shocks would be to take the wheels off. I'm not doing all that. So the top ones, the top bolts here, and on opposite sides were easier to get to. I was able to use my big 1-inch right here. So I was able to put that right here. I put I believe that's adjustable wrench. Put that right here, or whatever, crescent wrench, whatever it's called. Put it right here. And I use the truck's frame as leverage, or if on the opposite side, I think it had to go down to the tires as leverage. I put the thing on there, boom, took them off. So all 4 on the sides on the top was easy to get to. But the bottom, see, all the nuts that come off are on the outside. So yeah, that one's loose. Got that one loose. Got that one loose. So mind you, we're getting somewhere. We're definitely getting somewhere. But the last one is kicking my butt. Now I already broke one of my wrenches here. This one's broke. It just spins both ways, or one of these damn things is broke. Might be the one down there that my son was trying to use. Probably why it's not working. But yeah, I ended up breaking one of these. Yeah. So luckily I had another one. I had one I bought from Walmart when I was trying to fix that squeaking sound inside the truck. So I had bought this right here from Walmart, and so I was able to use the ratchet up out of here. So luckily I was good on that. So you can never have too many tools. So for whatever reason, if I can't get that nut off over here on that last one, then I'm gonna just change these 3 right here, and I'll just pay somebody to change that shock. Like I said, $50 a piece from Freightliner for the shocks. So I guess you could possibly get them elsewhere, maybe, you know, $10-15 cheaper. I'm okay with that right there. So yeah, finna take a break, go eat some lunch, and then we're gonna come out here and try to knock that that last one out over there. I might just say fuck it and we'll just go ahead and change the 3 that we've already got knocked loose. I've been spraying penetrating oil on it, the penetrating lubricant, that old Rusty. Been spraying that on there. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on for today. Like I said, shocks, batteries, and new cables and nuts. That's my maintenance for the weekend. So like I said, I'm doing it myself, obviously to save myself some money. So, you know, certain things I'll send it to the shop, let the shop deal with it. Other things I can do myself or also with the help of my kids. So I'm not crawling up under this truck. So I have my oldest son down there, and I pretty much just had him holding the ratchet on the nut over here, and then using the actual axle as the leverage. So all he had to do was put it down there and then let it lean up against the axle. So then I was over here manually rinsing it. And then just so happened this old shovel that I used to have, it broke. So, you know, I kept the bar, so I was using the bar. I can see the ratchet and the socket still on there. I was using that, and that's pretty much how I was able to break it loose. And doing that, like I said, we did break one of them, which I believe is this one right here. Now that I think of it, it's either this one or that one. One of them is broken, so we're finna go in and eat some lunch, take a break, then we'll come back here, try to knock that last one out. Once we get that off, then yeah, we'll go ahead and knock these shocks out. And the reason I started with the shocks first, because that's the hardest thing to do, just because of the spacing and stuff. And like I said, I want to get this done before it gets dark. I can change the batteries in the dark time, but I mean, as of right now, it's 3 o'clock in the evening, still got lots of daylight. But I definitely wanted to get this done, check out my fluids and stuff, because I'm going to get back on the road tomorrow. So yeah, come home Friday, spend time home at Friday, run around, do some stuff. Saturday, address anything that needs to be addressed on the truck. Saturday, Sunday, either sleep in or get up early, get back on the road. That's pretty much how it is right now for me. I'm okay with that for now. Like I said, I'm not sure if I told y'all, the last 2 months of December, I will be taking off, and you know, hey, we're gonna relax and bring in the Christmas and New Year's at home with the family, and just make sure everything's shut down. Sometime next week or the week afterwards, the Century class should be on, and you know, we're gonna run that truck and pretty much same thing towards the end of the year, shut it down. And, you know, driver enjoy time at home, unless he want to go run some short stuff, and then we'll keep it moving. Y'all give me a second. Like I said, I'm finna go eat. Then we'll be back out here fighting this stuff. All right, so these are the bolts for the shocks. So your longer bolt is going to be up top. Your shorter one is going to be on bottom. Why? I don't know. That's just how they're made. Or at least on my truck, that's how it's made. So I already got this shock out right here. So the way I'm doing it is I'm putting the bottom part in first, put the bolt through it, and then I pull it up through here until it is lined up enough for me to put the top bolt in, and that's pretty much it. So as of right now, what I can tell for placing these shocks, the hardest part is pretty much getting the bolts off on the bottom, because unless you're able to take the tires off, you'll have a way better time. Like I said, I'm not doing all that. I'm not taking the damn tires off. So I did it the way I did it. That's pretty much, and then I pretty much is same thing, same way it came off. I have to exactly put it on the exact same way. So there's no easy way going around without having to take the tires off, thinking I can swap anything around. I can't. There's literally no space because you got your drive line and stuff in the way. So this is the only one I was able to get my big 1/2-inch drill on. The other ones, and that's a 1/2 inch too, but that's not as strong as this big one right here. It got a little more torque and horsepower, whatever it's called, but that one's stronger than that one. So what I had to do was loosen it up with my breaker bar. Once I broke it loose with my breaker bar, then we came in with this one, and it was small enough to be able to fit in there and do what I needed to do. So we got the back 2 shocks already done. Shock number 3, then I'll get to shock number 4 over here, and then we'll tighten everything up. After we tighten everything up, then I'll go ahead and handle the batteries with the new cables and nuts and stuff. All right. All right, y'all. So the maintenance work for this weekend was pretty much what? Shocks, batteries, battery cables, and then I also replaced my fuel filter because I was around that 5,000 mile mark, if I'm not mistaken. So I do have, well, I've had everything on the charger overnight, and if y'all can tell, see, battery's at 100% fully charged. This little battery charger right here, I think it's like 80 bucks from Walmart or so. Yeah, Walmart. And so initially what I'm gonna start doing is every time I come home, which pretty much will be damn near every weekend, I'm putting this thing on the battery charger. So we're gonna start with the shocks. Gabriel's, Freightliner. Got them things installed. Honestly, I don't think I would have gotten it done if it wasn't for my oldest son. He helped me out. So, you know, I told him the name is Price, and he won $50 card for Robux. So, yeah, he done hit me for $50 for labor or for help, I guess. So, yeah, the front shocks were changed, almost about a month ago when I had got the frame issue fixed. It actually wasn't too bad. The hardest part was pretty much, like I said, man, getting down to them bottom bolts down there. So, did what I had to do. I had this pole right here that used to have a hoe on it or some type of shovel-like thing on it. And the funny thing is, this pole's been here at this house since I bought this house. And it's been, what, 3 years now? You know, I've always told myself I'm going to keep that just in case I need it as like a breaker bar. Just so happened I needed it as a breaker bar. So this is how strong them bolts were on there. I broke this ratchet. I initially bent it, as you can see it's bent. And then it pretty much completely broke off. I had to strong arm that shit, man. Like I said, luckily I had my son's help. And my son is 11, my oldest is 11, the one that was helping me. And he was able to get under the truck, and we was able to use the axles as leverage for the wrench that was down there. And then I was up top just yanking on it. Boom, 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 boom. And then we went ahead and knocked it loose. So this is the part that I think I told you I came in the Walmart kit, and yeah, it didn't make it. His first job and it didn't make it. But you know, tools like this, man, they're very extendable, expendable. You can replace them, so you know it's not that big of a deal. So this one actually broke, and then one of my other ones, this I guess the ball or something on the inside got loosened or whatever. But for whatever reason, it started back working. I was able to use it on the last one, and we got that done. So like I said, 4 shocks knocked out, $50 shocks a piece from Freightliner dealership. Labor was me and my son, $50. So then came over here to the batteries. It's my battery box. For y'all that know, this is a Peterbilt battery box that I have on the truck under the driver's side door, also on the passenger side. So 4 fresh batteries, 4 fresh cables. I mean 2 fresh cables, positive and negatives. All the nuts, or at least the nuts that are under here, because you know they have covers on them. All the nuts under the covers are brand new, and then I used the old nuts for the add additional stuff on there. So I just didn't put a nut on that one right there. So when I was taking this the old one off of the positive, it broke this cord right here. Y'all can see this right here. So I thought it would have been easy fix because I broke this cord and I broke that one right there. Luckily I had another connector, so I was able to grind that wire off, open it up, put it on there, and then I just crimped it down with some pliers. So yeah, I did that. When it comes to this wire right here, man, I didn't know where it went to, so I was pretty much hooking some stuff up under the truck, man, and there's so many wires that's back here in this frame rail that are cut, and I don't know what they go to, so eventually I'm going to get around to cleaning all that stuff up. And, yeah, man, that was very frustrating because without this wire being connected to whatever it's supposed to be connected to, my truck wouldn't start. It would just spin over. That's it. It would just spin over. So after figuring it out, finally hooked it up. I just like tested it, truck fired right on up, boom. Mind you, when this truck cranks up, or was cranking up, it was having like a little hesitation, and I thought it was the actual push button start switch. So for y'all that don't know about the classics, we have push button start. So you turn the key to the right, hit that button right there, the first one, that's your push button start right here next to the ignition. So went ahead and was able to figure it out. Took me about a good 20-30 minutes to figure it out, just playing with different wires that were literally just broke in that frame rail. So now once I figured it out, fired right on up, took everything apart, cleaned it up, put a nice connector on her and everything. And then now, I mean, the truck fires up real fast. You hit the button, it doesn't click, 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 and none of that crap. So whatever that wire is, I'm assuming it has something to do with the starter. That thing, now I know what it was, because I always thought it was the push button start itself. Then my ECM fuse is one right there, and there's another. Whatever this starter goes to is on another like fusible link or whatever it's called. So we got that changed out, and then I actually got my batteries sitting in nice and neat, because I think that's a problem that my truck was having with the batteries, that they were moving a little bit. So the bolts that they use to bolt the actual battery box down were going in so far that the batteries were uneven. So they were like coming up over this little stop and everything. So now I had to went in there with my grinder on this side and I grinded those 2 nuts off. And so the next time I change my batteries, I'll grind the other 2 off too, so it'll just have a little space. And then if I wanted to put something right here in this little space, I could, which I'm actually going to order another air hose that I'll use to put in the glad hands to air up the tires or whatever. I'm going to order another one of those, and I'll probably just have that sitting over here on this side. So batteries, all that stuff is nice and neat and done now. And then I went ahead and changed the fuel filters as well. Like I said, I was at my 5,000 mile mark, so it was time to go ahead and change them. Only thing I didn't do was grease the truck, which, I mean, you know, I could run through it real quick and do it, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get on the road. So my miles from my actual PM, 4,978. So 4,900 and almost 80 miles. So 20 miles from when it's time to do the fuel filters. Not sure if y'all know, I have an actual voltage gauge in my truck. That's how I know when something's going on or things are going on. So yeah, go ahead and fire this thing up for y'all real quick, just so y'all can see how quick it turns over now that I got that wire. So that wire down there was already an ongoing issue that I didn't know. Like I said, I thought it was just push button start, which I do have one in my glove box over there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and crank this thing over for y'all. Fires right on up. Yep, fires right on up. Air got to go up. Once the air goes up, you know, it'll stop beeping. Fires right on up, man. I love that. The whole time I was thinking that it was this switch, and I'm talking about ever since I've owned this truck, every so often it was stutter whenever you try to start it up, and the whole time it was that switch down there or that wire down there, and I didn't even know. But now I know. I will tell y'all this, man. I look back from when I first bought this truck, and I was active in, you know, maintaining the truck, but now I'm way more active in maintaining the truck. So what I mean by that is, you know, I'm actually out here changing big parts on the truck if I have to, if I want to. And typically the reason I do it myself is so I can learn how to do it if I've never done it, and also to be able to save myself just the labor, and then just for somebody, I don't want nobody to ever say they fixed my truck and then they actually didn't fix it. And I've actually experienced that before in the past where, you know, you take your vehicle somewhere for them, you pay them to fix it, and then it's not fixed. And I actually dealt with that from Freightliner when I had my lease truck. You know, $5,800 a month out of work, the truck still isn't fixed. That's why I like working on these older trucks, man, because it's pretty simple. You know, for these older trucks right here, as long as they got fuel, battery power, and fuel, and oil and coolant, oh, this truck is gonna crank up and it's gonna run. You know, so last night I didn't have the correct power. It wouldn't crank up. It took me a little bit to figure it out. I figured it out, and then I fixed it good enough for me to be happy with it. Something happens again to where it won't crank or it's just spinning over, I know exactly where to go now. You know, I didn't have to call nobody out here to figure it out for me, and then I get left in the dust. So yeah, now we ready to hit the road. Oh, shit, just fell off the truck. Yeah, now we're getting ready to we're ready to hit the road now. I'm just doing laundry. Once my laundry's done, then yeah, I can go ahead and load everything up in the truck and get on up out of here. So y'all can see my truck does need a wash. I did change these covers out. Now I got you know, these little cylinder looking things, and I actually like the way that looks. I mean, it's grown on me. So now what I got to do now is actually order this cap right here in chrome, with the red cap. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this inside cleaned up and then repaint it red, and then put the chrome cap on there with the red cap. And that's just pretty much how I'm going to rock now. I like to be able to look at my like I said, I'm trying to be a little more attentive in the truck. So I'm trying to look at my be able to look at my oils and stuff, and not have to come over here and wipe this down and all that crap, you know. So like I said, I'm doing what I got to do to maintain my truck. Try to be as active in maintaining this truck as possible. So for y'all that wants to know, oh man, well, what's the point of having a truck like this? If my starter goes out, my starter's right here. You know, it's not ducked off in the back here, none of that. It's right here on the side of the engine. I can stand right here, unbolt the 3 bolts, remove the wires and cables and stuff, and pull that starter right on out, and still wouldn't have problem maneuvering it out right here. If my air compressor goes out, it's right here. Couple bolts, you pull it right on off. Remove the air lines, wham bam, thank you ma'am. My fuel pump is right here, held on with 3 I don't know what kind of bolts these are. I think they're like T-bolts or whatever. 3 of those on there with the 2 fuel lines. Take that off. I believe there's a gasket in there. Put the new one on. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. My air governor right here, I've already replaced it once already, and I learned how to adjust the air governor as well. So that's 2 bolts, 2 air lines, and then I changed the air lines to where they're now quick connects. So instead of them having that I forgot what you call the that flange with the air line in, that goes inside of it, but instead of having that, now I got a quick connect. Pop it in, wham bam, thank you ma'am. What else that can go out on the external engine? So we got alternator, air compressor, and fuel pump on this side. We'll come over here to the other side. Oh look, alternator. If my alternator goes out, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, your positive and your ground, you know, take it off, bam. Tensioner pulley right here, 1 bolt. AC compressor, 4 bolts, wham bam, thank you ma'am, take it off, change it out. The belt goes out, boom, put the belt on right here. Any of these belts go out, bam. I mean, it's just simple, man. The turbo goes out, turbo, 4 bolts, and then you got them changed. You look right here on the side, 2 bolts right here, and then 2 bolts on the opposite side over here on this side. 4 bolts. You don't have to remove that. You remove this clamp, oil fill tube, top and bottom, and then you remove the clamp right here on this side right here. Remove this clamp right here on this side. The turbo come off. Manifold right here on the external engine. Remove the turbo first, then you remove your bolts and your spacers. Boom, 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 boom. This is a 1-piece PPM manifold, lifetime warranty on it. Oil cooler right here on the side of the engine. Oil filters right here up under it. Man, everything is simple right here. Sensors, everything they plug in on the external engine right here on the side. Boots and clamps right here on the side. More boots and clamps right here on the side. Piping, easy to get to right here on the side. Clamps, more boots, simple to get to right here on the side. He said it's not, this truck right here has a lot of space under the hood. That's what make it a damn good truck for owner operator if you ask me. Charge air cooler right here. 4 bolts, 2 clamps on each side, 2 boots and 4 clamps on each side. You pull it right on up, or you pull it, space it out, pull it through. I've changed this once before, and then this is a professional one right here that's done. So like I said, this truck right here, for me, it works for everything I need. Comfortable, spacious, easier to maintain. You know, only thing I don't like about this truck is the coolant reservoir. That black tank, I don't like it. I wish it was see-through like the newer trucks and all that. And I mean, hey, we rock with it. Not a problem, just from doing a pre-trip. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much where we at. Weekend maintenance is done. Like I said, we did batteries, cables, nuts, fuel filters, and we did 4 brand new shocks on the back. We'll see how it ride, then we're gonna keep it moving. Like I said, this truck actually rides pretty good. You know, for it being a 99, it rides pretty good. Yeah. So like I said, yeah, finna go ahead and finish up my laundry. I do need to come down here and I'm gonna zip tie some of the stuff up from yesterday that I was dealing with, just have a peace of mind for myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some zip ties down there, go take me a shower while my clothes is in the dryer. So once that's done, hey, it's gonna be time to get ready to roll out and hit the road. So I got a 5-hour drive up to El Dorado, Arkansas. So with that ride right there, like I said, I'm gonna park on site, to unload first thing in the morning. Have not booked a load for Monday yet, which is tomorrow. But I do got my eyes on some stuff, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, and then we'll come back to you guys tomorrow. But yeah, that's my weekend stuff right here. You know, that's the thing about owning a truck. You got two options, man. Work on it yourself when you're at home, or drop it off at the shop, go home, and you know what I'm saying, just pay the price. I tend to do both. It just depends on what needs to be done. If it's small stuff like what I did today, hey, or today, this past weekend, I'm happy I was able to get it done myself, especially the shocks, because now I know I can do them. And like I said, I know I don't taught myself tricks on how to get it off, even if I need to do it myself. So yeah, big shout out to my oldest son, man, for helping me out on that. Got to get him his $50 Roadbucks card before I get up out of here today. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Any questions or concerns, drop it in the comment section below. If you want to get in contact with me, send me an email at truckingwithbigdaddy@gmail.com. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Catch y'all in the next one.